Hello everyone, welcome back to another session on estimation and costing. Now we will see the remaining types of estimates. So previously we have discussed plinth area method and cubical rate method. Now we will discuss the remaining types of approximate estimates and other types of estimates as well. Fine. The first type of estimate that we are going to discuss for today's session is unit rate method. As the word indicates, we are going to calculate the rate of unit quantity, and once we arrive at the rate, then we multiply it with the number of units to arrive at the approximate cost of the structure. For example, we can consider rate of construction of one classroom in a school block, and then how many number of classrooms are there in that school we can consider. And once we know the number of classrooms, then rate of construction of one classroom is being multiplied with it to arrive at the approximate cost. The method is very quick. That is a major advantage. Now we will discuss what is a Bay method. In Bay method, it is similar to the unit rate method, whereas here the rate of construction of one bay or cubicle or a compartment is being considered. And once you know the rate, then it is multiplied with the number of bays to arrive at the approximate cost of the project. As you can see here in the figure, this method is mostly used in the construction of godowns, railway platforms, factory sheds, etc. Next method is approximate quantity from bill method. And in this method, what we do, the cost of construction, including the cost of construction of a foundation, floor, roof, woodwork, everything is being considered, and the total cost of construction of a building is calculated. And this total cost is distributed along the entire length of the wall. So we can know the rate of construction per unit length of the wall. Once you know the rate of construction per unit length of the wall, for the similar buildings, approximate cost can be arrived at rate of construction per unit length of the wall into total length of the wall. Right. Here, as an example, in the figure, you can see a building where the cost of construction includes the construction of foundation, floors, roof, woodworks and other finishes. The total cost of this building will be somewhere around 20 lakhs, let us consider. Here, the building view is given. So, from that view, you can see the wall length. So, find out the total length of the wall. For example, for this building, if the total length of the wall is somewhere around 20 meter, then you can simply arrive at the rate of construction per unit length of the wall, which is around 1 lakh. Suppose if you have a new building whose wall length is around 30 meter, then you can simply calculate the cost of construction for your new structure. Right. Next method is comparison method. And this method is useful when you have encountered a similar construction in the past and you with the same specification. For example, you have gone for a construction of a bus bay somewhere around 15 years ago at a locality. And after 15 years, you are planning to construct another bus bay at the same locality. Then using the previous cost, you can arrive at the new cost, and you need to provide some provision for the cost escalation at the prevailing market rate. And this method is also very quick, but only you should need the expertise in increasing the cost of construction as per the prevailing market rate. Once you know the rate of escalation in material and men, then you can easily work out the approximate cost of your new construction by comparison method. Next one is cost from materials and labors. So far we had some references to calculate the cost of your new proposed structures. Suppose at a locality there are no similar construction which has happened in the recent past, and you are going to construct a building for the very first time. So there, what you need to do, you have to calculate the quantity of material and labors involved in unit area construction of that structure. And how to know the quantity of labors and material involved in that construction? So that can be calculated using the empirical relationship provided by CBRI Roorkee. CBRI stands for Central Building Research Institute, which is located at Roorkee. So they have provided an empirical relationship. So from that, material and labor involved in unit area construction can be calculated. So once you know the quantity of labor and materials, then you can calculate the rate of construction per unit area. Then you need to calculate what is the plinth area of your proposed structure. Once you know the area and rate of material and labor involved in a 1 meter square construction, then approximate cost can be calculated. Fine. Now, we will see a revised estimate. So far, whatever the estimates we have discussed are approximate estimates. And revised estimate, when will we go for a revised estimate? Whenever there is a deviation from the actual prepared estimate and actual cost of construction by 5%, then we go for revised estimate. Sometimes this increment may happen due to changes in the material cost. Sometimes even if you use the same materials, due to difficulty at the construction site, your expenditures on your work may exceed by 10%. Then also you can go for revised estimate. If it is more than 10%, actually you have to go for revised estimate. And in some cases, even though there is no change in the material quantity, there is no change in the labor, but still there will be some deviation of material at the construction site. Whenever there is a deviation of material at the construction site, even though the cost is within the budgeted amount, then also you have to go for revised estimate. And this revised estimate is also a detailed estimate, as I mentioned before. Here you can see the original budget of your construction is around 28,50,000. And what happened due to escalation of material cost and labor cost, it was around 33,10,000 during execution. Then what you need to do, you have to go for a revised estimate to address this percentage of increase. Right? The next type of estimate is supplementary estimate. See, during execution of your construction work, your client may be going for some additional work to be done at the construction site. So to perform that additional work, you need budget. And for that sake, we prepare supplementary estimate. See, in case of revised estimate, there will not be any change in your drawing details or in your calculation procedures. Only the cost of material has got escalated. Whereas in supplementary estimate, some amount of additional work is being done as per the client's requirement. And what you need to do in your supplementary estimate, along with your original estimate, you have to include the details of additional works in your supplementary estimate. And here you can see an example where false ceiling is done as an additional work along with your original estimated work. Here initially the client has proposed a construction without as a false ceiling work, and during execution he is interested and he has gone for addition of a false ceiling. Then what you need to do, here you can see in the original estimate, actually false ceiling is not being considered and your budget was around 1,67,850 and the false ceiling work was somewhere around 31,000. So your supplementary estimate must address both your original estimate as well as the false ceiling cost, which put together was around 1,99,470. Right? So now we will see maintenance estimate. So in order to ensure safety and proper working condition of any building, then we have to go for maintenance work periodically. For example, you can take any corporate buildings, shopping malls. There periodically maintenance works are being done, and an estimate which is prepared for this purpose comes under maintenance estimate, and this estimate is also a type of detailed estimate. And you can even do maintenance work for maintaining culverts and bridges on your highways. Fine. So to discuss this topic further better, let us solve another numerical problem in the same topic. Here the question is given as prepare a preliminary estimate of a building project with a total plinth area of the building equals to 1500 meter square and plinth area rate is 950 per meter square and extra for special architectural treatment will be around 1.5% of the building cost. Water supply and sanitation would be around 5% of building cost. Internal installation 14%. Service charges 6%. Contingencies 3% and supervision charges 8%. See, how to solve this problem? It's very simple. Rate is given, a plinth area is also given, so you can easily calculate what is the building cost. To solve such kind of problem, open a table, right? And first write down serial number, then particulars, and then percentage of building cost, then amount, which would be in terms of rupees, right? So rupees. So the first one is we need to calculate what is the cost of construction of your building. So building cost would be equal to, there is no percentage for it. So 1500 into 950. So this comes around rupees 14 lakh 25,000, right? So 14 lakh 25,000. So this is the cost of construction of your building. Now we need to add this extra percentages. First one is architectural treatment. So this architectural treatment is around 1.5% of building cost, right? So 1.5% of your building cost. So this comes somewhere around 21,375 rupees. So the next percentage is for water supply. Since it is an approximate estimate, no details of water supply work, architectural works are given in this problem. So they are preparing approximate estimate. This is 5% water supply, which sums up to be around 71,250. And the next item of work is internal installations. So internal installations were around 14%. So 14% into 14,25,000 gives you 1,99,500 rupees, right? And what are the extras? So extra service charges. So extra service charges. So extra service charges would be around 6%, right? As given in your question. So 6% into 14,25,000 gives you 85,500, right? And what you need to do? See here, contingencies and supervisions, for them it is not given as of building cost. So it means that from the subtotal or from the overall cost, 3% is allocated for contingencies and 8% is allocated for your supervision charges, right? So first sum the construction cost up to this level, calculate the subtotal. So your subtotal would be around rupees 18 lakhs 2,625 rupees, right? Fine. Now contingencies we need to consider. So contingency is 3% of this subtotal we have to calculate. So 3% of overall. So 3% of overall, it would be around 54,000 78 rupees and 75 paise, right? And then supervision charges. So we have seen this definition, supervision charges. The other name for supervision charges is centage charges. Hope you remember. So supervision charges is 8% of overall, which is somewhere around 1,44,210. So if you add all these amount, your grand total would be around rupees 20 lakhs 913 rupees 75 paise. So this is how we can calculate approximate budget of your project using plinth area method. Fine. Now we move on to the next problem on the same topic. Prepare a preliminary estimate of a 4-storied office building having a carpet area of 2000 meter square for obtaining the administrative approval of the government given the following data. It may be assumed that 30% of the built-up area will be taken up by corridors, verandas, lavatories, staircases, etc. and 10% of the built-up area will be occupied by walls, and plinth area rate is given and other extras to be considered in your calculation are also mentioned. So before solving this problem, we have to calculate the carpet area. Carpet area is given in the question. Using that carpet area is how much? So carpet area in this problem is given as carpet area equal to 2000 meter square. And using this carpet area, we need to calculate the built-up portion. See, in this building, carpet area indicates all this office floor, and this utilities and other things will comes under your 30% extra, and overall this carpet area and this utility portion, walls, everything makes your built-up area. So built-up area equal to carpet area plus utilities plus wall area. Okay, so let us take this built-up area as X and carpet area equal to 2000 meter square as given in the problem, and utilities like your staircases, veranda portion, everything is around 30% of X, which is 0.3 times X, and wall occupies 10% of your overall built-up area, so 0.1 into X. So 0.6 times of X is equal to 2000. So how much X equal to then? So X would be somewhere around 3333.33 meter square. So this is your built-up area. So using this built-up area and plinth area rate, we can calculate the building cost. So for that, as usual, we need to open a table, right? So it's similar to your previous problem. Serial number, then particulars, then percentage, and here amount or cost, which will be in terms of rupees, right? So first one is building cost. So your building cost has no percentage. Instead we have area, which is around 3333.33 into 950 multiplied. So we will get our building cost as around 31,66,666.67 rupees. So once you know this building cost, you can even move this calculation into your particular column and show only the values on the amount column, right? Then extras for deep foundation. Now we will add all the percentages provided in the question. So a deep foundation, which is an extra feature, right? So which turns to be around 1% of your building cost. So 1% of this 31 lakhs comes around 31,666.67, right? And then next one is architectural treatment. So your architectural treatment is 0.5%. So 0.5% of this would be somewhere around 15,833.33. And the next one is water supply charges, water supply and sanitation. So water supply and sanitation is 6%. So 6% means it is somewhere around 1,90,000. Sorry, 1,90,000. And the next one is electrical charges. So electrical charges. So electrical charges for installation of electrical utilities, your cost of construction is 12.5%. So 12.5% means 3,95,833 rupees. And the next one is other services. So other services were around 5%. So 5% of this would be 1,55% of your building cost actually. 1,58,333. Right? Now what we need to do, as I mentioned in the previous problem, you have to calculate subtotal. Because other particulars are contingencies and supervision charges. They mentioned in the question itself, it is in terms of total cost. So subtotal would be around 39,58,333. And contingencies is equal to 2.5%, which would be around 98,958.33. And your supervision charges would be around 8%. So this comes around 3,16,666.64 rupees. So put together your grand total would be somewhere around 43,73,957.97. So you can get a doubt here why we need to calculate each and every particular item separately. Instead, adding all the percentages and multiply it with the building cost, we can arrive at the subtotal directly. To that subtotal, again we can add the percentages of contingencies and supervision and then multiply it with the subtotal. We can arrive at the grand total simply. But the thing is, when you are preparing an estimate, under each and every head, how much amount of expenditures you are incurring, you should calculate separately. Then accordingly, you can adjust and revise your budgets, right? So that's why we are calculating each and every item of work separately while preparing an estimate. So hope you have learnt both the problems and different types of estimate. Thank you. Stay connected. These are the different sources from which I have developed this content. Thank you all for your patient listening. See you again.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe VNR Digital Learning Resource YouTube channel.